You know what helps me get up in the morning? Fear. The knowledge that the action of attending this 8:30 class has a consequence in improving my grade makes it a lot easier for me to make choices like going to bed early. Current research suggests that consequence-based motivation is caused by the lateral habenula. The lateral habenula is a small structure located behind the thalamus and is implicated in both learning and anticipatory behavior. Studies have shown that expecting a positive outcome relates to low lateral habenular activity, while expecting a negative outcome, like losing grades, relates to high activity. But how does the lateral habenula modulate in this process? And can we change it? In 2022, researchers set out to answer that question through tests on mice. First, they tested how lateral habenula activity affected anticipatory behavior. They trained the mice with two different cues. One of the signals would be followed by a sugary reward, while the other would be followed with nothing. After 5 days of conditioning, sure enough, the mice could discriminate between the two cues and had signs of anticipation when the positive one was signaled. On the last day of training, calcium imaging of the lateral habenula also found that the positive cue was immediately followed by a sharp decrease in habenular activity. Following this test, they introduced inhibitory opsins to the rat's lateral habenula. This unique receptor, when presented with a certain wavelength of light, completely inhibits its neuron. Researchers chose to activate this after both cues, to determine if incorrect signaling would alter anticipatory behavior. It was found that inhibiting the lateral habenula increased anticipation across the board, but the mice still had distinct anticipatory patterns in both cues. As a second test, they repeated the same initial training, this time with electrodes and infusion points implanted in the lateral habenula. After the training, the mice were either infused with a GABA receptor antagonist or a control saline. The saline had no noticeable effect, but the GABA antagonist was found to restore the changes brought about by the positive cue by decreasing anticipatory behavior and increasing lateral habenula activity. The researchers also wanted to look at the function of how the form of training affected learned anticipation, and did another 2 experiments. In all of these, during training, the mice were split into 2 groups, either a paired or unpaired training group. Mice with paired training learned to expect a certain pattern of cues, while the mice in the unpaired group were presented a random cueing order. By testing synaptic currents within the lateral habenula, it was found that going through paired training increased the inhibition exhibited in the positive cues. Again, applying a GABA antagonist to the subjects in training restored this ratio.
Created using Powtoon.